105 North Avenue 52.
Prepare to be fucked by the objects of the law.
This isn't happening. Everyone look away, please. Nothing to see here.
You can't break those cuffs.
Make him away, Ty.
Welcome to Thought Cops, the only podcast where every week we police the mean streets of the internet. Because, hey, somebody's got to do it. And we let you be the judge, the jury, and the executioner in the court of public opinion. Coming to you live from Neo Chicago, I'm Officer Kevin.
I'm Officer Grant.
Would you maybe put the phone away and focus on the show?
I'm doing the live chat. We got people paying to watch us.
You're telling me people are in there paying for this?
Hey, not only are people in here paying for this, but ever since we did the episode with Big Time Garbage, now we're doing the video of us.
That's right.
Cramped together behind the same table.
You can
for
see
everyone to see, for all 5 people to see.
5 and counting, folks. That's right. You can see both Grant and myself and our wonderful guests each week if you donate on patreon.com/thoughtcops.
If they want to. Nobody's obliged to do anything.
Hey, the show's fucking free, man. It's your money. You know, you got to get extra shit. You know, you get what you pay for. That's all I'm going to say.
You can look at my haircut.
Yeah, it's a nice haircut. Oh,
Thank
folks,
you.
let me say this is worth every fucking penny right now. I am loving the view here. Anyway, let's give a thank you to our guest from last week, Brett, Blaine, and Bart from Big Time Garbage. Thank you.
We got another guest with a B name.
I was going to say you might have a potential new gig here if you want it. We got a returning champion to the show. That's right, everybody. We got the one, the only, Bruce Kesselring. How are you,
hey
Bruce?
Guys. I'm great. You really think I'm big time garbage material?
I think you are, man. I don't want to speak for Brett and the gang, but I do think that I'm basing this purely off of the fact that, again, your name begins with the same letter as every single one of the hosts of that program. You might have a shot. So if you want us to pass, your resume along, just let us know. But in the meantime, Bruce, you are a very funny stand-up comedian here in Neo Chicago, as it were.
Too funny. They don't even allow you on television
or on stage anymore. You believe this? That brings me to my next question. I've been asking everybody else who performs live comedy, who's come on the show in the last year. Bruce, how are you staying sane, man? How are you staying busy?
I work from home, so it's like 9 to 5 is kind of covered, and then
what about after 5? What about 5 to 9?
That's where it gets tricky, honestly.
5:30.
Yeah,
it's totally like I'll get to 5 and I'm like, all right, am I just going to watch another movie? Like, I'm tired of movies. I'm tired of video games. It's very depressing.
Yeah.
I feel that, man. It's like I've had a hard time. I'm not to be whiny, but I feel like, don't take people like, you can't take granted for the small things in life. How about you enjoy, like, you go get a new bar of soap. You got a new bar of soap to look forward to. And it's like, I am done appreciating bars of soap.
Yeah.
I need something with some fucking substance to it. And again, like, I have played so many video games in this past year that I have probably since I was like a fucking kid. And while it is great to catch up on all these movies and video games and everything else, it does kind of feel like I'm between doing this and also my day job, like I'm just kind of checking things off a list. And, as entertaining as it might be, at the end of the day, I'm like, doing this, I guess. So, we're right there with you, man.
Yeah. I mean, it can never transcend the paradigm of, well, I'm sitting in a couch looking at a screen.
Exactly. What's that meme? It's like work is over, like time to go from the bad screen to the good screen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I feel that. Hey,
I
I
have the
feel
same
that,
screen
folks.
now. I just swap out a laptop.
You're on the fucking same thing. And I feel like, you know, we are getting a little bit closer to, I don't know, maybe coming back to live performance again. I got my first vaccine this past week. You know, a lot of people seem to be getting on that block. And I do hope that, you know, sooner than later, we can get back to doing stand-up comedy and hopefully doing more live Thought Cop shows in the near future.
Yeah.
I know, like, even like last week, it was hopeful to hear like Big Time Garbage advertising they're doing a live show outdoor.
Seems like concerts are coming back, stand-ups coming back. It's all sort of trickling in. Hopefully not too quickly, because I think the numbers are still sort of...
And it's like limited capacity, but at the same time, like I said, more people are getting that the Microsoft chip implanted. I mean, I
can't wait to get mine.
Yeah. So looking forward to that, and looking forward to seeing Bruce and all of our great friends on stage once again.
Bruce, been doing anything else in the meantime? Any sort of content creation outside of that, or just sort of going the Tibetan monk route of just working on the within so that you can bring that to the without?
Lately, the latter. I dabbled in stuff for a minute. I was like, I'll stream for a little bit, or I'll record stuff or write stuff. And and I did a tiny bit of it and said, that's enough of that. I just kind of approached it as a gadfly, which I've come to terms with. That's just kind of how I engage with stuff like that.
Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that. I think it's like, there's a lot of, I don't know. It's tough. And I feel like it's been especially tough just getting anything new off the ground during this time.
Yeah.
Unless you're Grant and you're on TikTok, but
exactly.
You know, for the rest of us,
TikTok.com/Grant.Mooney.
TikTok.ch. No, I'm just kidding. Anyway, so yeah, I feel like, you know, just there's nothing wrong with just fucking chilling, and you know, you're in the hyperbolic time chamber right now, Bruce. You're floating in that liquid tube like Goku. You got the mask on your face, and you know, the second that fucking mask mandate's up, you know, you're hitting the stage like
that
you're
was
about
on Planet Namek.
Yeah, you're about to fucking save Planet Namek, and you got 5 minutes. Anyway.
That's the thing. I mean, I got my second shot on Sunday.
Okay,
good.
Which is pretty cool. Good. But I will say, like, if I had thought about like a year ago how I expected it to feel, knowing that I was like immune, it's not at all how I feel right now, you know?
Yeah, I do feel like, I mean, I've only had the one so far, but I'm not like, even when I get the second one, it's there's going to be a really big mental hurdle to get over because of just all of the people who A, are not doing it, and B, how can you trust it fully? C, we've been trained and conditioned to be very, very careful. So it's going to be, it's going to be weird.
Honestly, I'm fine with the being very careful thing. Like the whole like keep 6 feet away from me. I could do that the rest of my life. Just like get the fuck away from me at all times. Not you, Kevin. I mean, just like strangers. I mean, like you could back up a little bit, but I mean, like, no, I'm kidding. But like just in public spaces, like when you're in line at the grocery store and someone's just like riding up your ass, and it's just like, dude, like get the fuck back.
Yeah.
Take a step away. The line isn't going anywhere. Look, we can space out this much and you're still in line. Just stay away from me. Or like concerts or being at bars. Just like get we all have space. Stay away from me. That's all I want.
I think
that's all I ask.
Luckily for you, I think that'll stick around for at least some time.
Good.
You don't want to go back to normal, do you?
Get rid of handshakes.
Yeah.
I don't want to shake anybody's hand again for the rest of my life. I want everyone to wear the mask all the time. Not me. I don't have to wear it, but I'm seeing everybody else. I don't want to look at your face, you know? It's disgusting.
You don't get anything out of the smiles and joy that comes from strangers' faces on the train?
Cover up your mouth hole, asshole.
Wow. Unbelievable. Speaking of things that are unbelievable, wow, would you believe it, Grant? We are streaming on twitch.tv/SawCops every Wednesday and Sunday night from 8 p.m. to 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. And I bring this up again because we're now starting to make, you know, money from the Twitch stream from all those folks who have been kind enough to donate and subscribe and everything over the quarantine.
Buku bucks.
It's definitely nice to get that email where it's like, hey, your Twitch payout's here. And it's like, oh, we made enough money.
Right.
It's like, oh, you know.
Also, just the fact that we'd been streaming on Twitch for like 3 years and then we got a payout and then like 6 months later we get a second payout is like, oh, that's good.
Well, that's because we started like doing it regularly.
Right,
you
right.
know, and there's
nevertheless, it's good to see that like growth within that short amount of time, you know.
And if you got Amazon Prime, you can connect your account to Twitch Prime for free. Go to gaming.amazon.com/prime. Then go to twitch.tv/thoughtcops. Hit the subscribe button once every 30 days, and it goes a long way for us because, hey, you know, all that money goes to buying new gear for the show. Like we got like Grant was, I don't know if I was off mic or not, I forget, but you mentioned we want to get a second webcam so we don't have to, you know, violate the 6 feet.
Exactly.
Because right now we're only scrunched together so that several people can see us get their money's worth. Otherwise, I would be sitting all the way over there.
That'd be great to have like that multicam setup, you know?
Yeah.
Get that Joe Rogan vibe going. We're sitting across on like a 28-foot long table.
Have you seen like his new setup? He's got like some like
it looks terrible.
He's got some like giant neon light behind his like head. It's like that thing has got to be like burning a hole in the back of his skull. Those
you
shows
see
are,
him like profusely sweating.
Yeah, like 4 hours of that, man. That's brutal. Anyway, so yeah, check us out at twitch.tv/thoughtcops. We don't have any harsh neon lighting that will be rotting the back of our skulls out.
Right, just harsh white lighting.
Yeah. Let's move on to a very famous, very favorite segment of the show. That's right, Grant. I'm talking about 2 minutes of hate. We like to blanket punish all that annoying, random, so random, crap
Holds up spork
that we see on the internet every single day. You know, if you're one of those folks who doesn't like to take a day off Twitter or whatever, you know, it's not, you're not alone. So that's why we're here for you. My 2 minutes of hate this week is... this is just one of the... I'm going to complain about something specific that's probably not even relevant anymore. Those fucking... They understood the assignment. And this, I don't know, this kind of goes to a larger thing. Whereas I know we talked about it a bit on the last episode, how Twitter is just Mad Libs now. Right. And that's all it is. I get like little to nothing out of it anymore. Because some Zoomer or somewhat a person will put up like I think it was like they found like 4 images of like Tom Hiddleston who played like different movies where he's like, oh, that's the guy from Avengers and he's in other movies too.
And look, he dressed up makeup and wardrobe did their jobs and dressed him to look like another character.
And then they just post the 4 pictures and they go, he understood the assignment.
He's a millionaire. That's his job.
Yeah. And then it's not funny on its face. And then it's not funny after about maybe like an hour or two of people parodying it on Twitter, where it's every fucking like yuckster on the internet just has to post their own like picture of like, I'm trying to think of even who would be probably like, I don't even know, like Tim Robinson in the fucking hot dog costume or something like,
right.
He understood the assignment. And it's like, yeah, man, I just saw 50 of these.
It's funny that like, as soon as you see the first one go viral, you see just how the rest of it's going to play out. Yeah. You just see the matrix coding and you're just like, I know exactly what's going to happen.
It's so fucking boring. It's like, it's so boring. I mean, Bruce, I see you on Twitter a lot. You must be familiar with this.
Yeah, I mean, some of it is, I'm all for like random character actor appreciation when that pops up.
And who isn't?
Yeah, when someone's like, oh, Alfred Molina is really cool. Like, that's good to know. I'm glad to be reminded of that. But yeah, it is the dressing it up in like this, like, I don't know, how it's really cool to be good at school, I guess is the point of that format.
Yeah, it's just like, yeah, you're just sort of like filling in the exact assignment, the same spaces, everything. And honestly,
I meant like valuing understanding the assignment as like the premise of what it is to be like a good actor.
Because I feel like the more I'm actually thinking about it, the more I think I have less of an issue with the original post and more of the endless parodies.
Yeah.
Because that is all Twitter is anymore. Someone says something stupid, possibly they were joking to begin with and nobody understood it. And everybody's like, haha, this person's so stupid, I'm going to do my own. And then it's just like, I mean, this is just like, it's just boring as fuck.
Everyone's a comedian now. We're all content creators. There's a point to like when Martin Scorsese was saying that about like films and like cinema nowadays and stuff like that, where he's like, just everything's content. Like you can sort of broaden the scope of what he's saying. And it's just like, everyone's a content creator. Everybody's a funny, unique individual. Here, just do a Mad Lib. It's fine. It's the same thing. And it's just like, you know, I don't know. I talk about like my TikTok shit a lot, and you know, I'm sure it wears on people because it's annoying to constantly bring up. But that's one thing that I like struggle with that is just like you see all these trends and how far people can get by doing videos that everybody else is doing, and it's like, how do you break down some of these tropes without making the same content or just making parody content of everything? And like, how do you put thought and effort and work into stuff that you do? And even with this show, it's like, it's always genuinely relieving when people say like, oh, you guys are actually legitimately, genuinely funny, as opposed to just like, I don't know.
I mean, some
like,
people have said that. I'm sure there's
a
plenty.
lot of people say
I'm sure
that.
there's plenty of folks who haven't spoken up that think the opposite.
Fuck them. A lot of people say that, though.
Yeah, I guess
They
so.
say it.
I've heard it. I'm not lying. I've
heard it.
I've seen it's true, folks.
It's just nice to hear.
But you know what the worst part is? Like when you do see one of these Twitter format jokes, and then you think, oh fuck, I got a good one, and then you have to post it, and then you get validated because on the sometimes it does like go viral or it does get like, and then you're like, yeah, I guess this is how you do it.
Right.
I guess this is all people want. So I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, if someone's like really needs those 6K likes, I guess, you know, God bless you at that point.
I mean,
like,
yeah,
you're getting what you're getting out of that.
6K likes is like good for like one free therapy session, you know, the same amount of like dopamine. But yeah, I guess, you know, in a roundabout way, again, I kind of went around from like making fun of the OP, as it were, which I guess that'll be this week's Thought Cops Word of the Week, since I don't think I have anything else for later. So OP stands for original post or original poster.
OP mom gay. That's a sentence you might see on Reddit.
OP. But again, like, yeah, I feel like I do tend to complain about a lot of the same stuff where it's like, but it's content for the show where I'm like, haha, here's this thing everybody's saying on Twitter.
They're all doing it because
know?
they're like, I can't wait to see how Thought Cops tears into this one this week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, I can't wait to see South Park take these guys down. Like, I want to know. I want to know what to think. You know, what was it? So didn't somebody say on Twitter like they like Thought Cops is the new? I can't wait to see what South Park says about this.
I thought that Orgradon said that in the Discord.
Somebody said
Somebody
it
said it. I don't remember. Doesn't matter.
Made me laugh. Anyway, my punishment, though, I guess, just to kind of bring it back to what Bruce was saying. Yeah, you're back in school. You get Billy Madison, and you got to go back to school. And yes, you got to wear a mask, okay? And you have to do homework again because you're such a fucking nerd. You're obsessed with homework and the assignment and filling out shit. You know, it's like, oh, this is fun for you. Oh, you like filling in the blanks and worksheets? Well, hey, that's Twitter now. You ruined it. Go back to school.
Show your daddy you're not a fool.
I was trying to think of how the rest of that went.
Yeah.
Anyway. Bruce, 2 minutes of hate, man. Anything that you want to get off your chest, my friend?
Yeah. I mean, we talked a little bit before about how like it was tricky to find like a trending topic this week that was like, I'm upset about this, but not don't feel like existential horror at it.
Yeah.
Or a trending topic that isn't the neighborhood I'm currently in.
I was going to say,
fun.
yeah. For the record, yeah, both of us live in Logan Square, and it was a hell house. What the hell's a hell house? But anyway, it was a hell house of a neighborhood situation tonight. So even just driving over the Grants took me like way longer because everything's on fucking lockdown. But that's not exactly funny. So
that's a thing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. And that's, you know, well, anyway. But like you were saying, yeah, it's hard some weeks to find something that is applicable, but you think you might have found something for us, dug something up?
Yeah. So it took, I don't know, 8 months of the pandemic, but I finally started playing Dark Souls.
Okay.
First one is really good. I did finish that. It took me like a month and a half, but I really liked that. And there are people who have played a lot of those games and will like recommend their, I guess, chronology or the order you should play them in.
There's only 3 though, so it's like
Yeah, but isn't like
well, there's 3, and then they count the offshoots.
Demon Souls, but yeah,
and Sekiro. So the one someone sent me was like play Dark Souls 1, play Sekiro, play Bloodborne, play Dark Souls 3, and then play Dark Souls 2. And I'm like, fuck you. There's no way that's the right way to do it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, first of all.
I'm right there with you, man.
It's, because what they're actually saying, and people have done this with Mission Impossible too, is like the second one is the worst. So like watch it last. I'm like, well, if it's that bad, I'm just not going to watch it.
And also save the worst for last. That's not how the phrase goes, you know? Like,
right.
Like on the same note, like I saw like something even more egregious was like when they put Evangelion on Netflix, there was some article. It was like the correct episode watch list to get into Neon Genesis Evangelion. It's like there's 26 episodes. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just watch them all in a row.
Yeah.
And I get it. Like it's a little bit different for like maybe like video games or something where it's like, you know, if you want to get into something like
shut the fuck up with your fucking car radio, you fucking asshole. Sorry.
Zwick, cut out the episode. No,
Jesus Christ, these people.
If you want to get into like a really established series like Dragon Quest or something, it may be a little rough to start with like the first NES one. Like maybe work your way back if you're interested, I guess. So in some, because for like that's what I've kind of more accepted in that same way, Bruce, is like like when I was younger and stuff, I always had to play everything like in order in that way. But I guess like Dark Souls, I feel like is like current enough though. You know, there's not really a huge difference between like, I mean, I'm sure there is somewhat of a difference, but I don't know that it would be of that caliber.
Yeah, I mean, I totally understand when people are like, don't play the very first Metroid for NES right now.
Oh,
Just,
no.
It doesn't hold up. But
go
like,
back
you
if
can
you
start
want.
with
Yeah.
Super Metroid.
Yeah.
But it's the like, yeah, it's the whole like that they're like curating the right way to experience it. That feels kind of like a little pretentious.
And you said this was like friends that were telling you this, or was it like lists or articles that you read online or Twitter?
Yeah, this was like unprompted from friends.
Okay.
Here you go.
Because I've seen a lot of popular tweets or like articles and stuff on Kotaku or whatever it is, where they do like this, like I said, this is the way you should watch this or play this, or, you know, when I'll watch all the Rocky movies.
I find that a lot with the Star Wars movies, especially as they go back and forth between like sequel and prequel, that they're like, actually what you should do. And it's just like,
that's a big one.
What is it even like? First of all, what does it matter? Second of all, like a prequel is not like, oh, this took place, but it's like a prequel is always supposed to lend itself to the main story.
Mm-hmm.
And if you're watching like Star Wars, for instance, it's like if you're watching the prequels, you don't really understand why any of this makes sense unless you know who the fuck like Darth Vader is. You're just like, oh, here's a sad emo kid in the middle of a desert crying about sand. Why do I care about him? And you're like, oh, well, he turns into Darth Vader. It's like, if you don't know who that is and like why the story is important, why would you start it like episode 1? That's dumb.
Because it's number 1. No, it's like, and I know that was made in mind because it is a prequel. It's not
exactly
the thing that came out first. It is made after. It is a prequel. And I was actually watching something the other day. It was Cinemassacre, like angry video game nerd, put up like a beginner's guide to Godzilla, because there's like 40 some Godzilla movies or whatever.
Too many.
And he was like, you know, you don't want to start. He said, maybe you don't want to start with the first one because you might miss out on like it might turn you off of like other ones you might like later on that were more up your alley, or maybe like it would just kind of like he broke it down in a really interesting way. Was just sort of like, is this kind of the thing you like? Then start with this one and then this one. And like he gave you like 5. And then it's like, and if you like those, go back and watch the original one. And
I do appreciate that when things are like sort of contextualized and like you get the reasoning behind it, because I think that makes sense, because you always have the option of just watch them in order. But sometimes doing things in order like that is like painful.
And again, it does depend on what you're talking about. You know, it's like if it's something with like a very strict continuity, it's like, yeah, you don't want to say like, oh, start from like whatever season 3 or whatever. But it's like if I'm recommending like, oh, you've never seen The Simpsons before, I'm probably not going to say start with season 1. You know, I'd say maybe like start with like 3 or 4 and go back to those if you want, like stop at 10 and whatever.
Sure.
You know, it's It's a case by case thing, but I mean, I'm actually glad you brought this up, Bruce, because this is like something that I don't think we've talked about on here before, but it's definitely something that gets my goat because, people can be pretty sanctimonious about it.
Yeah, absolutely.
So that being said, though, if you have a punishment for any of your friends trying to help you out here, say, hey man, don't waste your time on this. Here's your time to punish them.
Yeah, so if you do this, you have to watch the prequels, and I mean every movie that is a prequel you have to watch.
Okay,
so there are some good ones, but there's plenty of duds in there.
There are
some bad prequels.
Enjoy
the Star Wars prequels.
Yeah,
those are bad.
Enjoy Dumb and Dumberer.
Was that a prequel? I never saw it.
Yeah, it was. Yeah.
Oh God. Hey, maybe you'll give you some context when you go back and watch the original Dumb and Dumber, and you'll appreciate every single callback and joke because that's all it is.
I can't wait until Dumberer and Dumberer come out. That'll be great.
It will. It will happen.
No.
Grant, what do you got for us this week?
My 2 minutes of hate this week goes to... I had one, but then I had a different one.
Real quick, in the chat, people are actually listing off their Dark Souls playthrough list. Sleep Science says, start with Bloodborne, then go to Dark Souls 1, then 3, then 2. Well, I don't think he likes 2 very much, so... You know what they say, Grant? Save the worst for last.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't mean that exactly here with you going last on 2 minutes.
I like going last.
We like to save the best for last. This is our just desserts.
Right.
Before we get to the meat and potatoes, because who doesn't like to have dessert before dinner?
Exactly. I had a different one, but now I can't remember it. But here's a 2 minutes of hate for you. People still don't know how to Google things. Now, if we're in real life and I'm talking about something and I'm talking about,
Give me an example here. We're on the street.
Here's an example. Or let's say we're hanging out in this room right here and I'm saying something about lifting or something like that. My depth of knowledge for lifting. And I say, oh, this one guy who did this one exercise. And you're like, I don't know who that is. And I explain to you, right? That makes sense. That's just called a normal human interaction. You know what's not a normal human interaction is when you are on the internet with like everything, every resource possibly at your disposal, at your fingertips, nonetheless. And you comment, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
You're just showing everyone how you're just above it all.
I had a friend on Facebook, and this is like somebody who went to my high school. It was after high school. We were like in college or something. He went to my high school, never knew the guy. And he had like 5,000 friends on Facebook, and he's like, whatever. I'm like, maybe I know this guy. We got a bunch of mutual friends, from the same town. And he had this like strange philosophy where he was like, oh, well, I don't want to Google questions. I just like to ask on Facebook and have people answer me to get more insight. And it's just like, what's going on here,
That's
man?
weird.
Yeah. I mean, he was
stupid.
honestly, he was kind of a piece of shit.
Yeah.
I'm being honest.
He sounds like it.
He ended up being a really shitty guy, but like, it's just, why would you not just Google it?
The time it took you to type something in on Facebook, you could just type that into Google. You know what I mean?
And it's like, oh, I understand. It's like you said, like, oh, a normal human interaction, but it's like, you're not. You're on Facebook and you're sitting there waiting for people who they think you're their friend you went to high school with. And then you're like, well, the more you see them talk, the more you're like, I don't think I ever met this guy. And I don't think I ever want to.
Yeah. And that's like definitely one very specific example.
Yeah.
But they're like, so I made one video about like the Chet Hanks White Boy Summer thing. And it like the punchline of the video was like, oh, he got slapped with a restraining order for some domestic violence situation. And I said something along the lines of like, who could have seen this coming as an end to White Boy Summer? Mm-hmm. So I make this video about Chet Hanks. I just get tons of comments that are like, I don't know who that is. It's like, you're just parading around the fact that you think that being ignorant about this, like, makes you that much better or smarter of a person. And it doesn't, because we're all on the same fucking dog shit app, just absorbing slop through our fucking eyeballs. And you're trying to show that you're better than everybody else. And nobody gives a shit.
Yeah.
Fucking Google it.
That is the shittiest fucking humble brag. Just again, like
Exactly.
somebody on the internet saying, I don't know who that is. I don't know what that is.
I don't care.
You can find out in 2 seconds flat.
But they
and
don't
you're just
want to.
posturing. You know, you're just like,
Right.
look at me. I don't know what that is.
And also,
Look at me. I don't know what that is. Good for you.
Right.
Fucking prick.
Exactly.
I mean, sometimes the person has like a very weird name. Like the first time I heard like FKA Twigs, it didn't register that like you're talking about a person now. But
Yeah.
you hear like Chet Hanks. You don't need to know the guy to know like.
You can
What kind of-
basically assume that something related to Tom Hanks.
Yeah,
You're
I don't know.
safe to say.
I don't know what a Chet Hanks is. Okay, what is that? A tool or something?
Right. It reminds me of when I was in 4th grade, like 4th or 5th grade, and one of my friends had a birthday party, and he got a Pokemon birthday cake. And this was around the time that like some of the kids started pretending like, oh, I don't watch cartoons. Like, those are for kids, despite the fact that we're all like 8, 9, 10
I'm too
years
busy
old.
getting fucking pussy, dude.
Yeah. And this one kid was like, I don't, what is that, Bulbasaur? And it's like, dude, we all grew up in the same time period.
Bruh, you just name drop Bulbasaur.
You're
Don't act like you know. Like,
It's like
you
the same
fucking
thing.
know.
But like, you can excuse that because like you understand that like, okay, well, you look back at that experience and you're like, that's an 8-year-old trying to seem cool and like,
And I
whatever.
hope he fucking killed himself. You know, even before you started the anecdote, I fucking knew it was going to be that one. Because you've told that before on the show, and I'm like, yeah. Here comes the Squirtle story. Like,
What is that? Squirtle?
what is that? Bugs?
Charmander?
Bugs Bunny?
I
I'm sorry.
don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It's the same thing, except that was a child, and these are like assumedly adult people, you know, that are, I don't know what Chet Hanks is. It's like, like, obviously you don't care.
Yeah.
So
That's
just
clear.
say you don't care. I don't care about this. Or you know what? Even better, just fucking scroll. Just like, don't look at it. Just don't watch it. It's not for you. If you don't care about it, just don't engage with it.
That's reasonable.
Yeah.
Is that your punishment? Just fuck off?
I'm not going to spin the wheel, but we did add, well, I haven't written it down yet because I don't have a marker to write it with, but we did add the Midas touch to the wheel as another option for punishment. And I would like to say, you can spin it if you want and pretend that it landed on Midas touch. Yeah, there you go. The blank space is Midas touch. So Midas touch is basically, you know, I want everything to turn to gold. So you touch it and everything turns to gold. And it's like, now everything's gold. You kiss your wife, you kiss your lovely, beautiful wife. It turns to gold. She turns to gold, whatever. So now you say, I don't know anything. You just don't know anything anymore. Somebody says, this is your mom. You go, I don't know who that is.
You get sort of the Gilligan's Island treatment, like a coconut falls on your head. Yeah, now you really don't know anything. How's it feel?
Right.
You forgot everything.
Ionet Runner says, Zwick, cut that voice crack. Zwick, make the voice crack louder. Add some reverb to it.
Remember last week when we glossed over that? That was funny. I thought he was just crying.
I'm distraught, okay? My voice is allowed to crack when I'm distraught.
Speaking of being distraught, no relation. But anyway, if you haven't listened to Thought Cops before, every week we investigate the internet's outrage-inducing news stories, and then we send the perpetrator to we sentence the perpetrator to a cruel and often unusual punishment. That's about right. Right, everybody? That's what I usually say in the show. So, are we doing this one first?
No, we'll go to this one and then we'll shift.
So, as I mentioned earlier, Bruce and I don't live too far from the mayor of Chicago, or kind of a crazy week here in Neo Chicago. Not to be too irreverent by calling it Neo Chicago to take away from a serious story. However, in terms of Twitter, the mayor of Twitter has returned.
After a 3-week-long hiatus.
The king has returned. That's right. Chrissy Teigen is back on Twitter. Bruce, I see you jumping up and down in your chair over there. I know
you look so excited.
You are freaking out, man.
I don't even follow her. It doesn't stop me from seeing her tweets, but I don't.
Yeah, no, exactly.
I don't hate it.
It's impossible to avoid. She's one of those accounts where it doesn't, like, people are like, oh, why you don't want to see it? Don't follow them or just don't, whatever. It's like, yeah, I guess I could block Chrissy Teigen. I guess I could. Yeah,
it seems like so much effort to do something that I care so little about. But every time I see one of her tweets, I'm like, I should block so many more people. I don't think I've blocked anybody on Twitter. I should.
The only person I've blocked is Elon Musk because I couldn't fucking take it anymore. And I'm not quite there with Chrissy Teigen.
I'm almost there.
Yeah. Because, the things she says are not like downright like shitty or sometimes they're like a little embarrassing, but I don't think she's, a horrible person. Like on the Leslie episode, we were talking with him about, how she was sort of like in that inner circle kind of posting verse. It's at one point or another.
I do feel like people with certain platforms, like, you should use what little power and influence you have to sort of like leverage that for good. And I think the point Leslie was making was that, like, she wasn't really doing that. She's, vote for whatever candidate, blah, blah, blah. But also just like, I make my fucking maid clean up dog shit that I leave there on purpose. And it's just like, is this really the discourse that we should have towards the working class? Blah, 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 blah.
Mm-hmm.
Sort of
right.
shit. Anyway.
So she's back. So get ready for posts about dog poo again, I guess. All your favorite content is here. So she posted she came back with a tweet here. If you want to read that, Grant, it's far away from me to see.
Kind of hate this, but she says, quote, "Turns out it feels terrible to silence yourself and also no longer enjoy belly chuckles randomly throughout the day and also lose like 2,000 friends at once, LOL. Chrissy Teigen, those people are not your friends. That's a parasocial relationship. You are a toxic personality."
Yeah, Nick Mullen is not your friend. You just listen to his podcast. He doesn't know you. He doesn't care about you.
Remember when the one time when Nick Mullen popped into the Discord to like body shame me and then dipped out? That was hilarious.
And you guys are what, really close, right?
Yeah, we're best friends.
After that,
yeah. We're tight now.
Anyway,
and then she says, "I choose to take the bad with the good."
And this is not exactly my experience with Twitter. I most of the time I'm just looking at it and getting angry,
Well, and you can also like engage or disengage with things. Like if someone calls you a piece of shit, you can choose to ignore it,
Yeah.
And you can also just choose to not use Twitter for 3 weeks without announcing your departure and your return.
Right.
I mean, unless you are a political figure, though. Like I said, she is the unofficial mayor of Twitter is what they were calling her.
The official unofficial mayor of Twitter, as I've been calling her.
So, again, I don't have anything personally against her. She posts some cringe, I guess, from time to time. Hey, who doesn't though?
Right.
And I guess, once in a while I'll get a belly laugh out of Twitter, I suppose. I'm sitting there, I'm like, let me see who understood the assignment in this, who's this gonna be good?
Right. Hilarious.
For a split second, I thought about like finding like 4 pictures of you and posting like he understood the assignment, and I'm like, no, man.
From all the different Be Nice to Me productions.
Yeah, I'm like, I can't. And then I had nothing else to do, and I just kind of laid there and stared at the ceiling and got sad, and I'm like, this is not working out. Anyway, so, I think that we do need a strong leader in place on Twitter.com, obviously.
Not Elon Musk, man. I fucking hate that overgrown fucking teenager. Dude, he's a 14-year-old boy that just so happens to be like 47.
Yeah.
Edgelord cringe
Godzilla versus Kong tweet
Oh,
I didn't see. Maybe I did
actually,
see it, but I just want to punch him in the fucking mouth.
Sad to
in
say that
Minecraft.
was the one I think somebody must have screenshotted it, so I saw. Is that the one where he's like talking about how like they had to be on meth when they made that?
Yeah. He's like, what's a drug? What's like a wacky drug I can use?
I think he said like they had to be on meth in the writer's room. When
Yeah.
like it's not a fucking like TV show. This is not like Late Night with Conan O'Brien. They're writing up like bits for Kong versus Godzilla. It's not really how movies work.
Yeah, dude's just like snorting lines of blow. Like, what if Millie Bobby Brown like listens to a podcast about monsters?
Just fucking like shooting dope into your arm. Like, yeah, man, then what if Kong punched Godzilla? That's his humor. It's like, oh, and the only thing funnier, dead babies, that kind of thing, you know? Anyway, we're not here to shit on him. We've shit on him enough, but, you know, it's always welcome.
It does remind me of, I think you had brought up, like, maybe this must have been a while ago, like around the time that we discovered Be Nice to Me Productions. I think you had a story about, like, some guy that, like, fucking didn't do his homework and didn't understand the assignment, and as you were like or maybe it was something else, but it reminded me of this, where like this one friend you had, or close, you know, acquaintance, Jesus Christ, I can't talk either.
I don't even know who you're talking about.
I don't know what I'm talking about. It was like watching something and was like, oh, what drug do you think this guy was on when he was writing it? Do you think it was pot or no? I think it was acid. I think, or maybe not acid, but like it feels sort of like mushrooms. And
yeah,
it's
the
just
whole
like,
time we're watching this video, every 30 seconds you have to chime in and be like, definitely was on mushrooms. And it's like, I know this person, like he doesn't fucking do drugs. He just is making creative shit. It's not like, no, this guy be acid.
It's the same mindset, but it's like Elon Musk is a CEO and the richest person in the world. Like it's definitely meth. It's definitely, because, you know, it's crazy. It's crazy. Nobody could think of this. Nobody could just write this on a fucking piece of paper.
And it's like, okay, sometimes people do have like creative visions and ideas like on hallucinogenics, but like fucking meth? Like,
yeah,
again,
that's just
like,
an amphetamine. Like that just like makes you stay awake longer.
What's the turn of phrase where it's like, sure, 8 is funny, 9 is funny, but 10 is really funny. Like just understanding zero subtlety to anything, where he's just like, if you just take the joke like to its like predictable extreme, that means it's funny.
Hey, SpongeBob.
Yeah, Patrick.
I'll be.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I'll be Patrick.
Hey, SpongeBob.
Yeah, Patrick.
You know what's funnier than 24?
What?
25. Apparently,
This show's going
Patrick
downhill
is
so quick.
Peter Griffin.
Yeah, well, we're always like doing these impressions on the show that like just turn into Peter Griffin, like against our will. Like we're being haunted by. It's like the It Follows ghost, but it's like this fucking Seth MacFarlane like specter.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are we complaining about? Chrissy Teigen or Elon Musk or just Twitter? I don't
Just
even know
Twitter,
anymore.
man. So speaking of Twitter, and like we can sort
Wait, do
of
we punish Chrissy Teigen?
No, but I think we can like use this as an example of sort of the same phenomenon, because around the same time that Chrissy Teigen left, a certain Lindsay Ellis also, I believe, left. And now both of them are back within the same like 1 or 2 day period, because I think you can only deactivate your Twitter account for so long, maybe like a month or something like that. And they're like, are you sure? And then people go, oh, no. I want to come back. I need to come back. I need it.
So
I
fucked
need
up.
it. Like they're on heroin.
Or on freaking meth?
Yeah. So Lindsay Ellis returned to Twitter and she made this fucking. So
wait, really quick, did we talk about why she left?
I can't remember if we did. Did we talk about the movie Bob saga, or did we sort of strongly hint at it?
I think we avoided it, but I don't even know. Is it worth going over?
I feel like we did. Basically, she'd sort of been getting in weird fights with. Oh, well, I guess the movie Bob thing is different, but she did extend an apology to movie Bob.
Kinda,
sorta. We can play the thing, but
yeah.
No,
I mean, she lays this all out in a really tight 100-minute video.
Yeah, it's an insane video.
The details there.
Whatever happened to a classic screenshot of the Notes app? You know,
it's like isn't it like 3 hours long?
It's an hour 40. I watched it last night, actually.
You watched the whole thing?
Yeah.
Good Lord.
at a certain point in the day, at like 11 p.m., I'm like, I need like this level of engagement, I guess. I just need like drama.
Just
It's not good. It's not a healthy impulse that's getting me there. but that
I
is
get
where
it, man. I mean, that's why these people do have an outlet, you know, and a career.
Right. Yeah.
But at least you admit that it's not good for your physical or mental health.
Cashew in the chat says she compared the Disney movie Raya to Avatar: The Last Airbender. It was something like that. I guess there was some like concept of like anti-Asian sentiment that was sort of like derived from that. Although I don't think it was intended as that, but like I guess enough people just sort of had driven the point home to the point where she was like, I don't even want to engage, and just disappeared off the internet. Well, she's back now.
I'm not going to clap.
Okay, well, you don't have to. But I want to play. Did we talk about the Movie Bob thing?
If we didn't, and for those of you who are just tuning in, so
she'd gotten in a tiff with Movie Bob, and he was like, oh, I thought we were friends, and posted a photo of them together. And she was like, this is seriously very creepy, dude.
Maybe we did talk about this because I think I remember we did because we had Sleep Science call in. I think it was the Ken Bone episode.
Oh, it was the Ken Bone thing. Yeah.
Where he was like, Movie Bob was posting selfies with like this like Lindsay Ellis chick who he met once or twice. And I guess she like soft blocked him and stuff several times, and he kept refollowing her.
Ken Bone really laid into Movie Bob too. That was hilarious.
I didn't. That was a rivalry I was not aware of. So anyway,
so she apologized for that.
Major quotes around apology.
Major quotes around that, but
like one other person I owe an apology to is Movie Bob. I told him on Twitter to leave me alone because he was acting like a creep by being overfamiliar and continually signaling to the world that we're friends. And he was acting like a creep, and we're not friends. But I would have never done that if I had known that the Diet Nazis were going to turn that into a meme. Like, I don't like a lot of what he says on Twitter either, but please stop using my face to torture this man. Leave him alone.
So
that was one of the fucking worst apologies I've heard in my entire life.
I understand the sentiment because I get where you're like, okay,
just don't apologize.
Yeah, just don't say I owe you an apology and then just not apologize. Yeah. That's weird.
Also, Diet Nazis. I'd never heard that before.
I don't know, but it's good. I might start using that. Maybe I won't, though. I mean, it is kind of stupid. I don't see myself using that phrase.
Man.
Cashew in the chat says, the only thing I'm going to say is, can Lindsay find the right fucking concealer shade? The top of her head is red and her cheeks are yellow.
Wow.
So.
Wow.
Any opinion on that, fellas?
I'm sure Nico probably left a voicemail, and we'll find out at the end of the episode. So.
I got to say, like, I have, fairly bad anxiety. I couldn't imagine if it was like, I'm getting comments about like the colors I put on my face.
Yeah, I feel like what's up with like Thought Cop's female listeners and being like really fucking mean about makeup?
She did the Kevin Gulp emoji.
Yeah, well, I am. Here you go.
I don't know. I don't know anything about. Oh, he's doing it. He's doing it. If you pay $5 to listen to the episode, you could see Kevin live do the drink emoji.
This is so fucking stupid. Oh God, what happened in my life?
What? I don't know.
It was rhetorical. I don't actually want you to tell. I couldn't handle the answer.
Right. My bad.
Anyway, Lindsay Ellis. Let's bring up the energy here. Woo! Crazy Movie Bob drama. Oh, drama alert. Wah, wah, wah.
So Movie Bob responded. He said, oh, God. Movie Bob responded. He says, yes, I've seen it. It's appreciated and thank you. I've offered zero opinion, re the surrounding present context will continue to do so. If you have no idea what this refers to, you are lucky and don't worry about it. If you do, don't bother trying to ask me about it. So,
based?
Red-pilled, baby.
Fucking Movie Bob is
it's his redemption arc. He's coming back.
God damn. I don't know about you, Bruce, but that wasn't on my 2021 bingo card. Something funny you could kind of post on Twitter if you wanted to.
Well, that's good.
Yeah.
You understood the assignment.
I can't even react to this shit anymore, man.
Yeah.
So what's the punishment here?
I don't know. If you leave, here's a punishment. If you leave Twitter, you make a big show about it, you don't get your account back. You got to start from scratch. You gotta be in the fucking trenches with us, trying to scrape by on these dumbass fucking meme format posts, just trying to get one new follower a week.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, where's my 5,000 friends? You got to start as a low B, you know?
You got to work your way up.
Yeah, it'll humble you. Trust me.
It's like in Thousand Year Door, Paper Mario and the Thousand Year Door. You're playing and you get through the glitz pit. And what happens? You win, you beat Rockhawk, and then all of a sudden, like the computer database just it explodes and there's no information, and then you have to fight your way back up to the top of the glitz pit one more time after you've already beaten it if you want to get the belt back.
You think you're going to stream that next?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
And that's like Chrissy Teigen. Or no, that's like when you... Okay, the punishment for...
Yeah.
For Twitter. Who knows anymore, man?
You got to fight your way back up. You can't just start with 17 million followers again. You gotta be where we're at, you know, couple hundred, couple thousand. You work your way up.
What do you want to talk about next year?
We have either MyPillow CEO's new free speech network bans posts saying Lord's name in vain.
Yeah, let's do that.
Or we have BBC diversity chief says, quote, Luther isn't black enough.
I want to talk about MyPillow.
All right.
What is this, like in the new MySpace? All I can imagine is like the MyPillow guy, like doing like the Tom from MySpace pose with the chair turned around. Except he's like leaning on that pillow and he's got the big cross on his neck. That guy's so funny looking.
The best part about that joke is it was so obvious and so dumb that I wouldn't have ever seen it coming.
Yeah. Also, I knocked everything over trying to do a very useless impression of Tom from MySpace, and where only like 4 people can see me doing it.
Right. Well, people in the audience understood what you were going for, I think, even if they can't see it.
So what he's like aiming to be the new Zuckerberg. What's going on now?
Yeah, so everybody's starting a new social network because I guess Twitter is communist or something, and Facebook is also communist, and everybody's something, or they're socialist, or they're too far left. There's a stopping point with the left, and they just blew right past it, and they censor everybody's
You know what
free
they
speech.
should? You know what they should call tweets on here?
Huh.
Pillow talk. I'm actually liking this. If only I couldn't say, goddamn, but.
So, wait, are you fucking kidding me? So I haven't read this article because I never do research before the show. I just pop some links in and figure I'll read it while we're doing the show. MyPillow founder Mike Lindell is getting close to the launch of a new conservative-focused social network, giving more detail on the project in a video online this week. This is the part that gets me. Called simply, quote, Frank, the social network plans to open its doors to a limited set of users on April 16th. The website is called Frank.
What's today? Wow. I didn't get in. Shit.
Damn it.
It's like in that early invite from Gmail.
How many of these right-wing like social networks have there been where they're like, we're going to do it for real this time?
And
like,
they all collapse the same way.
There's always like some extremely predatory pricing, or it just doesn't work, or nobody wants to use it, or it's overrun immediately by, genocide deniers.
Because it's advertised on with the premise that there are no rules, and then it gets brought down because of rules.
Yeah. If you follow them on Twitter, every single post that they make is some anti-pornography thing. It's hilarious. Like, that's their number one thing, is just suppression of free expression. Like, free expression that's basically enamored by, like, the Supreme Court's ruling on its constitutionality to say that, like, yeah, pornography is freedom of expression. We can't ban it. And they're like, not allowed on our website. Absolutely not. And it's like, well, you're the free speech website. And they're like, that's not speech. And it's like, well, it's expression. And that's their number one thing. And same thing with a lot of these sites. Parler, like if you post any like communist propaganda or anything like that, if you post a picture of Lenin or Bernie Sanders, same thing, you get banned, you know. And so he goes into this is so fucking funny. Lindell says, quote, "You don't get to use the 4 swear words. The C word, the N word, the F word, or God's name in vain."
What?
The 4 swear words. I've never heard anybody say that before. You don't get to use the 4 swear words.
Wait, so it was C word.
Long ago, the 4 swear words lived in harmony.
Yeah. So what is it, like the C word? What is like?
Crud.
Just like can you
Leo in the chat says, I couldn't even fill out a bio without breaking the rules there.
Yeah, I mean, really, like what? Like, I mean, I'm surprised. I mean, like, I guess good for them. Like, oh, you can't say the N word here. Like, but like, what the hell? Like this?
Yeah, that's a low hanging fruit. Like,
is ass?
It's a low bar to jump over.
What about ass or shit?
You're allowed to say it.
And which F
Those
word?
Aren't swear words.
You know?
Yeah, which F word? Which C word? Question. I mean, I know.
I mean, like the way I assume, like, because like C word and N word are slurs, it makes me think of a certain F word.
Right, the slur F word, but like, what if because he says the 4 swears, and
I don't know, man.
The F word is a swear and not a slur.
I don't know. I guess you're gonna have to fucking find out when you get banned.
Yeah, test the waters.
Yeah. So what? Somebody like got banned from here for like taking.
No, this is new, so no one's gotten banned yet. But I just love. I mean, this is you want to talk about how everyone's overusing the phrase Orwellian. I mean, the concept that all these people are constantly setting up like free speech social networks and just banning whatever they want is like the precise definition of Orwell, like the legitimate non-ironic version of saying like, yeah, double plus good. Yeah, we got a free speech network. You can't say these words though.
What'd you say it was called? Frank?
Frank.
Cause I'm like searching for it. And it's cause it should be out today. It says, so there's like Frank app, which is like a digital student card. And there's like
it's bad SEO.
The fart cushion app.
It's terrible SEO. You can't name a website that.
Frank?
I'm getting the movie where Michael Fassbender wears a mask the whole time. You know that one?
I don't, but
maybe they can.
It's not a mask. It's like a fake hat. He's like a.
Yeah, maybe there was a
2014 film. Oh, this movie.
That was. I think I saw that movie. I remember.
I liked it.
Yeah, I feel like that was pretty good.
The original music was really good. I thought
it looks interesting. I'd actually kind of like to see this.
Yeah, so the guy, he like wouldn't take the head off, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I got a punishment for this.
Yeah.
They should roll it out on Christmas Day with spokesman none other than Kevin Spacey with his Let Me Be Frank videos that he does every Christmas.
I mean,
Frank's first verified user.
They could probably get him, but like, don't you think they'd probably be upset about the fact that he like identifies as gay?
Well, I'll be like, just tell them you're not. You can have a check mark on Frank.
But he's, deciding to live his life as a gay man now.
But you could have a check mark on Frank. I'll do whatever the fuck they want, man. Verified on Frank? Shoot. That'd be sick.
Yeah.
Let's move right along to something positive, something nice, something good, something swell this week. That's right, folks. I'm talking about this week's Thought Cops Key to the City. My key to the city goes to this cartoonist I found on the internet. He's on Instagram at @thelighter_side_by Kren. I found this because somebody like posted this on Twitter and I thought it was like fake. And then I like looked up the guy's account, and I think I put this in the Discord last week too or something, but this is like, I was laughing at this for hours. It's like these bizarre, like they look like,
oh yeah, I saw you post those.
they look like Sunday comic strips, but everything is like, it's so bizarre. Like there's just one here. It's like these two young preteens are on the computer. One is like a sports flag that says Minecraft. One says TikTok, and the C is clearly crossed out with a K. And the parents walk in and they're wearing masks, and the mom goes, "What a stressful few months. Work, attending BLM rallies, ... hurricanes." The dad goes, "Dealing with COVID-19, ... The kid goes, one of the kids goes, "COVID-19, BLM? What's that?" And the other kid goes, "I think those are new Fortnite characters." Like it reads like this is like a fake thing, but I spent like hours going through this guy's account, and he's just completely fucking insane.
It's like that it's like that same level of detachment that makes me like Pilot Red Sun so much, which is just like, this guy understands tropes so well and knows how to subvert them to make you feel this certain level of alienation. Like that's the exact same feeling I get with looking at those.
This is another one of my favorites here, which again makes no fucking sense. It's this crude drawing of Beavis and Butthead farting on a bunch of animated coronaviruses, and Beavis is saying, "Here's my butthole, dumbdass." Haha. And then Butthead goes, "Look, Beavis, a slut. Come to Butthead, baby." And he's pointing at a random woman on the side, and the large text says, "What we need, the original Bad Boys." What the fuck is he talking about? So another one, it's like the cast of like Breaking Bad, and it's like Walt, Saul, Mike, and Jesse. Jesse's wearing a shirt that just says meth on it. Like Mike is choking a large coronavirus, and Walt is putting a gun to its head. Saul is holding a card that just says "Call Sal" on it. And the caption just says "Breaking Bad ass coronavirus."
And all the Godzilla versus Kong writers are lined up to buy some of that blue meth.
The writer's room is full of these t-shirts, folks. So it's very fucking bizarre. Just if you want to laugh, definitely check this out. There's a lot of it's one of like Mr. Bean's mouth is taped shut for some reason. It's kind of disturbing.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's on Instagram at the lighter side _by Kren, Kren. The subtitle reads, "Follow if you want to smile. Funny cartoons, humor."
That's good.
Bruce, did you have a key to the city for us?
Yeah, so I'm gonna give it to Super T on YouTube. I like to watch speedruns a lot to fall asleep. It's either that or like inscrutable YouTube drama.
I was gonna say, yeah, one of the two.
Or I'll just put in like a 4-hour speedrun and just slack jaw, just stare at it until my body shuts down. So I've been like pushing the limits of like what are people speedrunning, and you never don't find a result. So like when I thought to search Ring Fit speedrun, the first result was Super T, he's doing it.
I was wondering if anybody's speedrun that game, and like this, how does he do it? Does he actually do the exercises, or is he like manipulating the thing to get through it?
He is both. He's doing the exercises, and he does not look like someone who has been doing that his whole life, I guess.
Damn.
So it's very authentic play. Like I'd be interested to see like, if you just like do this really fast, it like
that's what I was wondering. Yeah, like if you just kind of like trick the system. But that's a pretty cool. I'll have to check that out, because like I'm playing that game now. Like I try to like play Ring Fit, like maybe like, do a level like once every day or something, especially during quarantine. But I'm like, I wonder if anybody's speed run this. So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, there need to be like, because speedruns have categories. So like any percent actually doing the workout time, and then also any percent, I don't know if you call it like glitches or whatever you're doing, ring manipulation.
Yeah. So
juicing, steroid run.
Super T, you said?
Yeah, Super T on YouTube.
I'll have to check that out. Interesting.
My key to the city goes to so we all know like what's he, a congressman, Matt Gaetz, is in some hot water for alleged like child sex trafficking, and it's
That's funny to you?
It's a big scenario. Well, no, it's
Laughing?
not. Yeah, he's trafficking children, and you're laughing.
And I'm tired. No, I'm just kidding.
And I'm very tired of pretending it's not. No, so obviously a lot of people hate Matt Gaetz, and they've been, trying to call him out on Twitter. And so they've been tweeting at him, but every once in a while they spell his name wrong. So there's this guy, Matthew Gertz, and he's at Matt Gertz. There's at Matt Gaetz and at Matt Gertz. And if you go to Matt Gertz's like Twitter profile and you look at his tweets and replies and you scroll down, there's just like hundreds of thousands of times of him replying wrong guy to people that are like accidentally tagging him as opposed to Matt Gaetz.
That is
like,
pretty funny.
It's just him going wrong guy. I don't work for Congress. It's not me. Wrong guy. That's not me. I'm not him. And so he did like a CNN thing, and now he was on CNN, and now that's his like profile background, or what do you call it? Like
His header, yeah.
That says Matt Gertz, quote, "No, I'm not Matt Gaetz." And so he's just known now as the guy who's not Matt Gaetz.
I mean, it's a good time not to be Matt Gaetz.
Yeah.
Never been a better time not to be Matt Gaetz.
Yeah, it's never a good time to be Matt Gaetz.
That's kind of weird that so many people are throwing an errant R into a name like that.
Right. I'm assuming maybe people are just typing in the name Matt and then just
then G, and then they see the check mark.
Exactly.
And they're like,
and
there he is.
They click the first one that pops up. Dilbert in the chat does bring up the fact that people have gotten tattoos that say no regrets. So maybe it's the same thing. You just add random R's.
Can someone in chat confirm if this image is from a Taco Bell commercial?
You think
I feel like
you think it is?
I think I recognize it from a Milky Way. Okay.
Milky Way.
Okay. They were eating a Milky Way. Man, I feel like that must have been from like the early 2000s. That feels like a very aggressive, edgy kind of like,
right.
Yeah, I got a fucking wrong spell tattoo and I eat these candy bars.
Nowadays, in order to like advertise yourself properly, you have to disparage like an entire like minority group.
Oh, he says it's recent. Yeah.
I mean, it's like 5 years old, I feel like.
You got to be like Burger King and be like, yeah, women shouldn't be allowed to vote. Yeah. That's how you do advertising nowadays.
McDonald's should go on and be like, women shouldn't eat.
They're all fat and women shouldn't eat.
Their meal's late is what we meant to say. Everybody come in for breakfast at McDonald's, now being served all day.
Got a burger.
Men, women, everybody, yeah.
Got a burger for the fellas and a salad for the women. Choose McDonald's.
We're so sorry for what we said. And most of all, we
It's like when you order a Happy...
What was that, Bruce?
It's like when you order a Happy Meal and they ask if it's for a boy or a girl. Is it for an adult man or an adult woman?
It's like, couldn't be me. Like I said earlier, this week's Thought Cops word of the week is OP, which is original post or original poster. Before we get to the final segment of the show, which is our listener voicemails, Bruce, if you want to plug everything you got.
I'll just give my ads. I'm at Bruce Kesselring on Twitter and Instagram. I've done a tiny bit of writing, and I might be doing a little bit of gaming content coming up, but that's all. It's in the pipeline, so I'm just going to tease that for you. But if you follow me on either of those, you'll hear about it.
I'll be staying tuned.
Yes, follow the Thought Cops pipeline.
Yeah.
You get
the Thought Cops to something pipeline.
Twitch.
Yeah.
Pipeline.
The Thought Cops to Bruce's Twitch channel pipeline. The road to extremism, folks.
Yeah, it's a slippery slope.
Yeah.
So if you want to go ahead and leave us a voicemail, give us a call, 312-788-7361, or you can always send us an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Hit it.
This is the Discord news for this week, bringing you all the news worth reporting from the virtual streets of Neo Chicago.
Garfield and Heathcliff enthusiasts have come to an agreement. Mondays will be for Garfield and Tuesdays for Heathcliff.
Oh my god.
Thursdays will continue to be Throat Fuck Thursday.
What the fuck, man?
Hashtag the Food Network talk about meal prep led to Sleep Science posting a picture of a medium-sized Tupperware bowl held up by his tiny hands.
Dilbert No Racist text posted the ingredients he used to make a drink, which he described as strong but tastes good. He then went on to try and stream some Yu-Gi-Oh matches on Twitch, only to stop multiple times to throw up before taking a nap and possibly dying.
What? Jesus.
In hashtag the Faucet Department,
fucked up,
Kevin
man.
Podcast posted a video ad involving Gollum sucking and fucking a fat cock.
What the
Responses
fuck,
range from
man?
Zwick, what is wrong with you, to the cartoon turtle, to so glad my seat in this coffee shop is up against the wall.
That video is fucking
In hashtag
hilarious.
lifts, Grant posted a picture of the monkey feet shoes he bought, which can be loaded with dumbbells.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, they do not fit the cheap dumbbells that he stole from
Dennis Prager. Agent IO sparked an argument about how to pronounce the confectionery product made by heating sugar in hashtag general. Arguments range from 2 to 4 syllables and even included a fact checked by Sleep Science.
This week's Discord news has been presented to you by Crazy Yosef and Agent IO.
What is these shoes he's talking about?
Monkey here.
All right, he's going to get the shoes. He's wheeling across the room.
It's not a shoe. It's an object that you can put onto a shoe, and it's a workout device, and it's called Monkey Feet. So if you go to monkeyfeet.com and use promo code GRANT, you can save 5% on one of these, and then you put a dumbbell in
Oh
here.
wow, it's kind of like one of those like medical boots, but
I suppose so. Well, it's sort of also like a ski boot because it's got this latch right here, and so you latch it onto your foot, and then you can put a dumbbell in there, and then you can do all sorts of exercises with it. So
wow,
that's pretty cool. I mentioned I gave the key to the city to the knees over toes guy one episode. He turned me on to them. So key to the city goes to Monkey Feet. I think it's like animalhousefitness.com that sells them. So, spending too much time talking about this. Let's go on to the next one.
Yeah.
Hey, fuck ups. My 2 minutes of hate goes to people that whenever you're playing a game with a group of people, that one person that does everything that the rules of the game say not to do, just for the sake of, oh, it's a game, let me have fun. It's like, yeah, but we're all trying to have fun playing the game, and you're just fucking up the game by not doing what you're supposed to be doing. My punishment is that they have people just interrupt their life and do everything they tell them not to do. Like, I guess that's like monkey paw or whatever.
Monkey paw.
Toodles.
Monkey foot. It's all making sense now.
You see, that's kind of why, like, that reminds me of this story once. I was like, it's like for some family gathering when I was a kid, and I was playing Mario Party with my cousins, and I was like winning, and my younger cousin starts crying, and he like told on me and said I was cheating at the game. He's like, he's cheating to win, and I'm like, you can't cheat. It's a game. It's a video game. They won't let you cheat. It doesn't work that way. And I had to explain, and they were like, oh, he's lying. I'm like, yes, he's lying. That's impossible. That doesn't make any fucking sense.
I'm so glad that both of us have held on to so much trauma from our childhoods and just want to like air out our grievances against like literal children from 20 years ago on a widely listened to podcast.
I mean, again, in quotation marks, but basically for whoever's listening, like
the most famous podcast, second only to Joe Rogan,
throwing people under the bus who like mildly slighted me in 1998
when they were children.
Yeah.
I don't have energy to even mock this because it's so bad, but you two need to look up the Tramp Stamps I'd Rather Die TikTok. Don't listen to the whole song because that is like self-harm. You listen to however long that TikTok is, because it's so bad.
What did she say? Tramp Stamps? I'd rather.
So I pulled up like the video. It's in podcast chat if anyone wants to check it out. This is dumb as shit, but it's these 3 girls that are in a pop punk band. It says, hold on, the sound's been taken down, but I can't remember the last time I slept with someone I actually liked and he went down on me. They're singing. This is like one of their songs. I can't recall a memory of someone driving me home and not asking for a blowjob. This is a song. Ew.
Why is there no music on it, though?
I'd rather die than hook up with another straight white guy. I'd rather die than fake it like I'm having a good time. I guess took the music down. It got so much hate. So that's what's happening on this godforsaken app is people are watching this stuff and getting thoroughly like angry at
See,
it.
like that's why like TikTok looks like another waste of time that I already don't need. It's like I'm already wasting so much time on other stuff. It's like, yeah, there's this other stuff I could get angry about too that I'm not even aware of yet. It's like, yeah, I mean,
it sounds like the best you can hope for on TikTok is to have a lot of people mad at you.
And then, I
You
feel
get a lot.
like every time you bring up TikTok, Grant, you're like talking about like, yeah, I got like 50 comments of like the dumbest complaint possible. And it's like,
yeah, but like I do that performatively for the 2 minutes of hate, but I mean, most of the feedback I get is pretty positive.
That's true. I mean,
and
I
I
know,
like
like,
don't like argue with people either. It's just
Yeah.
like if someone leaves a dumb comment, I just like complain about it later, on this show.
you only share the negatives with me, man. I don't know. You don't.
Yeah, during the negative segment that we've set time aside for.
I feel like you're giving me a false image of your life. I'm thinking it's all doom and gloom, and turns out, you're all.
But yeah, and I mean, you go to the app and you go to my profile and you see, my most recent video that has 177,000 views, and you scroll through the comments and you're like, yeah, that is a good point. Hey, look at your mustache. Hey, this is cool. LOL,
LOL.
Laugh, cry emoji.
Sorry, Grant is throwing up into his shirt.
Yeah. Sneezing, it's these allergies.
Remember the Bad Boy Challenge? Was that TikTok?
That was either TikTok or Vine.
It wasn't Vine. It was after Vine. But this is like 3 years ago, and a certain someone was showing it to us on the show, and we're just like, oh my God, dude, that was like one of the worst fucking. They ever seen that, Bruce? The Bad Boys Challenge it was like, I think it was TikTok a long time ago.
I don't know that.
These guys would like dress up like nerds and like sing this like it's not pop punk exactly, is it, Grant?
It was sort of like a pop punk sort of thing, and then they'd like cover the camera with their hand, and then they'd take their hand off and they'd be wearing like a cool backwards cap.
They'd be like dressed like a member of Avenged Sevenfold, and it's like that's the joke is like, oh, they look fucking awesome now.
Hell yeah.
Good evening, Thought Cops. It is I, your usual caller, the one that you can recognize almost immediately
Zwick?
Once I begin speaking. Leo the Incredible.
Oh.
Introductions no longer needed. This message, as usual, Grant.
What?
Yes, Grant.
Why am I in hot water all the time? What?
Is geared towards you.
Yeah, what do you want?
Now, Grant, I did a little research. Little Paper Mario research.
Oh my
I know
God,
you're thrilled.
man.
Your eyes rolled when you heard that. But you have your lickings coming, son. Here it is. From the official wiki. The lava piranha is one of Bowser's minions who guards the star spirit and lives in the volcano that resides at Mount Lavala. With the help of Colorado, Mario and Co. are able to venture forth through the volcano and encounter the large three-headed lava piranha plant. Despite its power, Mario is able to defeat the piranha plant and save the star spirit. Grant, I have a problem.
Yeah.
I have a problem as this appears to be Mario's accomplishment and not yours. You've been absent from Twitch, my friend, and I demand blood.
Oh, my.
Kevin, keep up the great work.
Fuck you.
I look forward to seeing you, Grant.
Thank you,
Have
Leo.
a wonderful weekend.
A really funny comment from the last episode we glossed over was like, he left a voicemail, and I forget who said it. It was like, raise your hand. Whose dad was that? But
That's
man,
good. I'm like 98% sure that I beat the piranha plant. I think that he's lying. Like, I can't remember because it's just like
he's gaslighting.
I haven't
you, man.
like played in like a week or so, but like I'm like 98% sure that I beat it and that he just didn't happen to be watching.
I was gonna say that was like, isn't that the boss of Yoshi's Island?
Yeah, and I finished that level.
How far are you in that game?
He says I didn't.
You gotta be done with that by now.
No, I must have, because I got the vase and I gave it back to Colorado. So I must have.
Thoughts, Bruce?
No, I
This is
didn't.
the first Paper Mario?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been playing in years and years.
Yeah, that's been my go-to Twitch game recently. I asked you to kill the plant man, then you quit. Yeah, I think I came back and I think I beat it after you were watching it.
All right, we'll figure this out.
We'll figure this out, but I'm pretty sure.
You can call him personally later and figure this out.
Yeah, we have everyone's phone number, so I'm gonna.
Yeah, you don't make sure that everyone who reviews your stream sees every part of the game that you play.
Right. It would be funny if like
hey man, I'm going live.
We like, you know, because the Google Voice will show people's phone numbers. We should just start calling people back and screaming at them, like settling personal beefs by just like.
Where the fuck were you on Wednesday, man?
We're not going to. That's not a thing. That's unethical. But it'd be really funny if we did do that. That'd be hilarious.
Speaking of things that are ethical, though, if you want to go ahead and support our show, you can throw us a few bucks over at patreon.com/thoughtcops. Helps us out a lot. And we got a lot of bonus content on there. We're recording the next episode of Fire Bros with our friend Sleep Science very soon. We just have to get through the fucking Snyder Cut first. That's gonna be a lot of fun,
which we're all gonna watch together, right? We're gonna watch the Snyder Cut together. Eat some Snyder's pretzels.
That's what I'm saying.
Hell yeah.
So you can also hang out in the live chat here every episode. We've started doing these webcam videos, so now you can see our bright and shining faces every week. I realized I've been sitting behind the wheel for a large chunk of this episode. We'll figure that out later. But, you know, you can catch us here every week on camera and see how the sausage is made, as it were. Patreon.com/thoughtcops. And again, if you want to leave us a voicemail of your own, give us a call, 312-788-7361. Or you can send an audio file to thoughtcopspodcast@gmail.com. Bruce, thank you so much for coming back on the show.
Thank you, guys. A lot of fun.
Yeah, appreciate you.
Always a pleasure of ours. Thanks everybody for listening. We'll see you next time.
See you, Space Cop.